Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video about non-Asian K-pop idols as this topic is pretty controversial amongst K-pop fans. I want to give out a quick disclaimer. I will not be talking about my personal opinions on non-Asian K-pop idols. This video is simply highlighting some of the non-Asian K-pop idols throughout history. Please be respectful in the comments, as whether you agree with them or not, they are still human and do not deserve hate. I'm going to introduce non-Asian K-pop idols throughout history, starting with Mickey Romeo from the group Rora. Rora debuted in 1994 as a co-ed hip-hop and dance pop vocal group. A few members left over time, and in 1997 Mickey Romeo was added to the group as a temporary member. To this day, little is known about Mickey. Even the other members said they knew very little about him and didn't even know his age, but it's been rumored that he was around 50 at the time of promoting with the group, which makes him around 70 now. It's thought that Romeo was African American but based in Germany. The group finally disbanded in 2001 and Mickey Romeo completely disappeared. There's really not much to say about this duo as they only made one song, and little to no information is available about them online. Edward was a European and Anthony is assumed to be half Korean. Edward rapped in English. Bonjour debuted back in 2006 with 3 non-Asians. Julien was Belgian whilst both Philippe and Thierry were French. Once again, this group was very short-lived, only releasing 2 songs. Member Julien later went on to have a solo career in modeling and acting in Korea. I could not find any information on what happened to the other members. Kyle Moffat and Marco, also known as members of the group ESQ which debuted in 2011. They were known as the first international K-pop group. The members were all from Canada but had Korean, Chinese and Caucasian backgrounds. When Kyle left the group, he was then replaced with Marco but eventually had issues with his visa and was subsequently forced to leave the group. Busker Busker was a rebrand of the group Pinky Pinky, who debuted in 2012. Members of Busker Busker were mainly university students and they were a K-pop band. Brad Moore was the drummer for this group until their disbandment in 2014, except for a brief period where there was a temporary replacement for Brad. Brad was originally an English teacher at a Korean university before joining the band, and was born in Ohio, America. Despite living and working in Korea, Brad had very limited Korean language skills. Chad Future was the first non-Asian solo K-pop idol. He debuted in 2012 and described his music as a blend between K-pop and American pop, which he liked to call I-pop. Chad did not learn Korean and many were skeptics of his works, but he collaborated with many popular K-pop idols. Chad went on a 5-year hiatus before announcing he had a new album coming out, which was released in December 2019. Coco Avenue were the first ever all-black K-pop girl group. The members were Jenna and Jenny, both African American females. I honestly could not find much information about them anywhere, but they debuted in 2013 and disbanded in 2017. Their songs were sung in Korean. Jenny has a Korean husband and still occasionally posts on her YouTube channel. The Gloss were the first all-female K-pop group to have a non-Asian member. Olivia from the Gloss was from France. There's a lot of confusion surrounding the group, and whether they ever actually officially debuted or not. However, the group only lasted for a year before disbanding in 2014. Olivia received a lot of hate with many claiming that she was ruining K-pop, and it is believed that their company forcefully disbanded the group due to this, despite the members wanting to continue. Next we have Alex Reid of BP Rainier. They originally debuted as Rainier in 2011, but the group underwent some change and in 2015, Alex joined the group. Alex was born and raised in America and was the first African American female K-pop idol. Alex later left the group in 2017. Alex's time in Rainier was an odd one to be honest. Fans often felt like Alex was just being used as a non-Asian prop, only coming on stage to perform her solo parts. Alex has more recently spoken out about mistreatment during her time as a K-pop idol and the fact she was often not given a translator or even allowed to spend time learning Korean. Next we have EXP Edition. EXP Edition are fairly well known, and have taken part in several documentaries about non-Asian K-pop idols. The group consists of 4 members, one being Portuguese, one Croatian, one American and one being half Japanese and half German. They debuted in 2017 and have not been received well since. The group have said that they are more of an experiment to see how a predominantly non-Asian member K-pop group would be perceived. Sophia from Oh My Jewel was the first ever Russian K-pop idol. The group debuted in 2017 with originally 4 members, but one left the group very soon after debuting due to health issues. They disbanded just 5 months later in April 2018. Sophia faced a lot of criticism during her short time as a K-pop idol due to not being Asian. She is of Russian and Israeli descent and learned how to speak Korean. She was also part of a pre-debut K-pop group called Blatty. Next we have the soloist, Romina from Germany. She performed on a KBS Gayo stage in 2014 and later released her first mini-album in 2018. Once again I couldn't find much information on her, but she speaks fluent Korean. I'm sure you have all heard of Ollie London. He has been on many TV shows and documentaries and is most famously known for his appearance on Dr. Phil, where he talked about the large amount of cosmetic work he has had done in order to look like Jimin from BTS. Most do not consider Ollie as a K-pop idol, but I wanted to include him anyway as he is so well known. He has released many songs, which contain both Korean and English lyrics. A lot of his criticism comes from K-pop fans who say that Ollie has often used cultural appropriation and uses Korea and K-pop as a way to get famous, rather than something he truly had a passion for. Russian soloist Lana debuted in 2019, causing quite a stir amongst K-pop fans. Lana speaks fluent Korean and lived and went to school in Korea for a few years before debuting. Some believe that she may have had plastic surgeries to look more Korean, but this has never been proven and many believe it's due to her Tata Bashka genes. She recently also debuted in China and was on the Chinese survival program, Produce Camp 2020. She is also currently a university student in Korea and speaks Russian, Korean, English and Mandarin. UHSN technically isn't an official K-pop group, but they were a project group formed from the MNET reality show, UHSN. The show was about 10 girls from countries all across the world, coming to Korea to experience the life of K-pop idols. The lineup included Eri Chiba from the Japanese girl group AKB48, and she had previously also taken part in the K-pop survival show, Produce 48. The group was under Stone Entertainment and released the song Popsicle, before shortly returning to their home countries once the TV show had finished filming. Again, this group are technically not a K-pop group, and have since debuting explained this, but I will include them anyway as they are often perceived as a K-pop group and are heavily influenced by K-pop. Kachi debuted in London in early 2020 with 4 members. One member, Coco, was Korean, whilst the rest of the members were English, Spanish and Venezuelan. The group are managed by a Korean entertainment company in England. Their songs are predominantly in Korean and clearly take a lot of influence from K-pop, as well as most of the members, previously living in Korea for some time. Kachi's debut did not go down well, and they faced a lot of backlash at the start of their career after being labeled the first K-pop group from London. They have since stated that they are not a K-pop group, but are just influenced by K-pop. Prisma debuted in late 2020 with 5 members under Union Wave Entertainment. 2 of these members are non-Korean. Miriam is from Italy and Nia is from Spain. Fataou was born in Senegal and debuted in the group Black Swan, which was seen as a rebrand of the group Rainier. Before becoming a K-pop trainee, she was a model in Korea. Fataou can speak 5 different languages including Korean. I saw split opinions over her debut, some praising her and her visuals, others unhappy with the fact she is a K-pop idol and also that her company did not do her well, giving her mainly English lines in a poorly written rap.